Hi, welcome to Yarn Lane. Now I'm surrounded by little critters and all in these beautiful bags. At the moment they're all little asleep in these little bags because actually you have to knit them yourself. But if you have never shot with us before, let me just let me tell you how easy it is to do. You can go to our website, which is yarnlane.com, or on the app, or you can phone in. But if you go to the website, you click on Watch Live. And then once you've clicked on that, you can then scroll down and everything that we've got on the site for sale today is there. So that's everything there, which includes all these fabulous little kits for mini animal heads and this amazing book, which has got far more even than that in it. So we've got all of that here on there. If you don't have to wait, so don't wait for us because we will have limited stock on some of these. So if you absolutely love the little sheep or something like that, because we've got 3 of the kits that were sold out last time. We've got a brand new kit that's exclusive to us today, and we've got another one that's got an exclusive colourway. So if you want to buy any of these things and you've seen Louise with these before, grab them now whilst you can. You can, of course, call the call centre. It's 0800 4700 600. And that's completely free, and they're local to us here, lovely people to speak to, incredibly helpful. It's the same group of people as those on Sewing Street. And it's the same P&P as Sewing Street. So actually, if you've joined us from Sewing Street this morning and you've already bought something, that P&P of £3.95 covers you. If not, your first purchase you'll pay the £3.95. Any subsequent purchases today will be covered by that P&P. We are the only channel in the UK dedicated to yarn, wool, crocheting, knitting, etc. So it's really lovely that we are bringing today some really fabulous things which are great for early beginners, early newbies to knitting. Because you've got your book which is for first time knits, which I love.
Yeah, it's called First Time Knits. It's like a learn to knit book. It takes you kind of from beginner to knitter in about 9 projects. So it's not like a regular knitting book, it works more like a course. So you start with just learning garter stitch, make a really easy piece of knitting and you turn it into a phone cosy, and you go up through all of these different projects.
That sounds superb. We're going to look at that in just a minute. But we are going to start with this exclusivity. This is a Minnie Mouse head. You've got the Minnie Mouse head there, haven't you, Louise? That's the Minnie Mouse head. Look at that. Isn't that cute?
Yeah. So yeah, if you've been following me on Instagram, I've been posting some teasers on what it might be. I did show some of my live followers the other day what it was, a little sneak peek. But here it is. If you've seen him for the first time, it's a brand new design. You can only get it here at the moment. So
and this is because of popular demand. People were asking for this, weren't
they?
Yeah,
I think it was Lisa on Instagram asked for a mouse, and I went away and I made it for her.
So there we are. We've got a mouse. So, do we have a name for it, or do you want a name for it?
Well, if anyone wants to write in and give it a name, we can name it. Otherwise, I will just call it Mousehead.
Oh, right. In that case,
yeah.
that means that's a challenge.
Yes,
you
a challenge.
were called Mousehead, were you? Yeah. School pool. No, we need a name for our mouse. But how do you get this? So how do you get all this stuff? So what you get is this kit. Now look at this. I've already opened the bag, but look, this is how it comes. You can reuse this bag as well, can't you?
Yeah, they're really nice
move
project
that book
bags.
For a second.
They're kind of long enough to put your knitting needles in, so after you finish knitting, you can use it as a knitting needle bag.
Yes, you can use it, and I'm just going to empty it out because you get everything you need in here. So look oh my goodness, everything you need. So you get the yarn that you need. I'm going to put this straight back in because you don't need to see a bundle. So you get the cloud, so you get the stuffing that you need. The yarn, the needles, and are these bamboo needles?
Yes, they're kind of 5mm needles, so it's a really nice size to work on because I find with DK, my hands can't really knit on DK because I've done so much knitting, but on the 5mm I really enjoy kind of knitting on them, so it's a really nice weight.
Relatively quick to knit with,
yeah,
aren't they?
Quick to knit with, yeah.
I'm just struggling to open this bag neatly and carefully.
So I did warn you about the scrunchy bag, so I was...
Yes. So inside the bag here, so all the kits are the same. They've got all the bits you need. So inside the bag for our little, don't lose the eyes. Yep. So what we have here is we've got the pink for his ears and his eyes. Yep. We have 2, these are hand sewing needles.
You should only have one. That's got an extra
Oh,
one.
got an
so
extra
the
one.
person
Should
who
only have
buys
one.
this, you've got a lucky extra sewing
It
needle.
might have been open, but very carefully, but you have an extra needle. So you have the fish line to make your whiskers.
Yeah, it's got really lovely little whiskers. So
That's so
once I
cute, I
finished
love
knitting
that.
it, I've just sewn on some whiskers, which gives it its nice mousy personality.
Yes, mousy personality. And then you have the 2 safety eyes as well. So that's all provided. So everything you need to create the head that you're buying is provided very, very neatly in this beautiful packaging.
Yeah,
And I think that gives you an idea of the quality you're getting.
you also get the pattern
You
as
do
well.
get your backing board and the pattern.
Yeah, I've got a pattern with me here. I thought it'd be easier than you opening up. Yeah. So yeah, I write all my knitting patterns really easily. So you kind of knit what you see. Stole that from catchphrase. But yeah, so literally, if it says knit 1, KFB, K6, you're just following the pattern. It's as easy as that. It's knitted on straight needles, as you saw, so there's no working in the round. And then you just sew it together using a little bit of mattress stitch, and you've got yourself an animal
And
head.
that's all detailed in how to do that in
it's
your
got
instructions.
like sewing up instructions. It's got photo sewing up instructions here. And then if you do need any help, like the First Time Knits website that comes with the book has lots of additional video content that will help you, you know, if you struggle with any of the steps for the animal heads.
So that's brilliant. So that's our first animal head. So this is exclusive to us. It's £22 and you get the whole kit, which I'm now carefully putting back in the bag. Everything you need to make this gorgeous little mouse head. Oh, Laurie suggested, we haven't got a squeak in it. But then you're going to hang it on the wall, you see, so I'm not sure. Oh, Squeak for the name. I thought you meant put a squeak in it.
Yeah, I was
squeaking. You have to go past Squeak in it.
Squeak,
Squeak, that's nice.
Yeah, we can call it Squeak.
Like that one?
It's cute.
That's a good contender. There are a lot in baskets at the moment, but please, you know, we do only have limited stock of all of these. So if you really like it, do check out, because it's not yours in the basket until you've checked out. And this is exclusive to us at the moment. It really is. We are. I mean, they're so cute, aren't they? I just love all the sheep and things. Where do you want us to go next, Kat? We're going to go to the book. Good. Because we've mentioned this briefly, but we need to have a look. Because I love the way it's got you on the front cover here.
Oh, it's going to have me on the cover, yeah.
I think that's good. Because you personify what you're teaching. I'm going to see if I can start at the front rather than my usual start at the back.
Everyone starts at the back. Like,
it is always easier to fan a book from the back. So what you've got inside, so you've got all these lovely projects, and as Louise has already said, they actually take you through knitting. So you're going to start, meet me and my knitters. That is like, this is nice.
Yeah, so what's also different with this book is instead of like just putting loads of information down, I actually taught 4 people to knit, and I document their process like in the book. So you'll see their mistakes that they make and their finished projects. So you're following someone else's journey, because when you learn to knit or you learn to do anything, well, especially when I was a kid, I'd get these kits and they'd never look like the pictures.
Yes.
And I was so disappointed. So here you actually get to see, like, you can see my one that, you know, I've been knitting for years, and you can also see kind of how the beginners ones look, and you see their work progress through the book. So, you know, you see their mistakes at the beginning, maybe there's a few holes and things like that in it, but towards the end they've made jumpers, they've made lion heads, they've done everything in the book.
Oh, this is fantastic. So it's really taking you through. So, I mean, this is for an absolute beginner.
Yeah.
But of course, if you've got experience, you're still going to enjoy making some of these lovely makes in here.
Yeah, there's a
few. But I do like the way you've got you're actually teaching proper people, so you know the bits that are more complicated for them, and you can iron that out in here.
They help me write the book, so they help shape the book. So if they struggled on anything, I'd update the pattern and make it easier for like. So it took a long time to kind of put together, but it was such a great project to work on, and all of the tutorials in there. So all the steps, all the projects have like the step-by-step techniques, and they also have videos as well. So you can either follow the pictures in the book, or you can go onto the First Time Knits website and there's video tutorials for all the steps as well.
This is all for $12.99.
Yeah, I know. It's a bargain.
People are going to stop going to knitting classes. Why? You've got it all here. It's amazing. I just love it. And I like, look at this, cast on mistakes. So this is going to help you not make mistakes, because you can see other people's and see how it does. Of course it's a natural part of learning, and it's good to see what mistakes you can make and how you can rectify them. Continental style. Yeah. So it's very, very clear, and it really does take you on that journey, and I just love it. I love the fact you've got the little comments from your
Yeah.
your guinea pigs.
Yeah, well, one amazing thing that's happened is Amala, who is one of the knitters in the book, she's now come to work for me.
Oh, has she?
She's amazing. She was finishing the projects before I'd even got them in the page layouts, and now she's working for me kind of part-time and helping me grow the business. So it just goes to show you, learn to knit. You can
I'm
work
just
for
trying to
me.
see which one that is. Which one is it? Let's have a look
Amala,
at the
I'll
front again.
show you her. Oh, she'll be, hopefully
she's
she'll be
here.
watching.
Oh, here
She'll
she
be-
is.
Yeah. There she is,
Well,
Amala.
well done, Amala. That's
Yeah.
great, isn't it? So she's now got sort of a new career out of this.
Yeah.
I don't think it works quite like Kate said. Just you never know. If you buy this book, you might start working for Louise.
Yeah.
Well, you do never know.
Yeah, you know, send me an email.
So you've got lots of things. Look at these: incomplete stitches, how to put it right; drop stitches, how to put it right. So you've got all of these things. It's not just projects. It's not just for the animal heads. It's actually going to teach you to make lots of things. So this is what you were saying about making a phone case out of the garter
The
stitch
first one
ones.
is just an easy phone case. So rather than just making a straight piece of knitting that you're never going to do anything with, you can sew it up, turn it into a little phone cosy.
Yes.
Protect your
Isn't that
phone.
lovely?
And then each project kind of builds on those techniques. So you start with the knit stitch, then you'll learn increasing, decreasing, colour changing, and then purl. And then once you've done the first kind of 5 projects, you can kind of make most basic things in knitting. So after that, I've got things like the lion head, who, you know, when I kind of showed people this project, like on Instagram or, you know, in real life, they said, I can't believe you put this lion head in a beginner's book. But honestly, once you've done the first few projects, you'll be able to make like a lion's head with all the loop stitch on the main. So that's how much I believe in my kind of projects. That's how easy they are.
That is fabulous. It really is. I like this cup. See, there's only project 2, cup warmer, because I have a cup. You know, one of these cups like this. But the band that's on it, it's too hot.
Yeah.
I could keep for a cup cooler to hold my hands. But there's a tension. So you're explaining whilst you're making. You're explaining all the things. How to increase, little mistakes you might make and how to get over them. So all the way through, tiger scarf, I remember this one from before, I've seen that. That's fabulous.
Yeah, they're all really usable projects. So there's
Yes.
no making square, like, you know, I like a good square, but there's no like just making bits of squares and sewing them together. It's like fully usable projects, which I really love.
Look at this. So this book, we have had it on there before and it was really popular then, not surprisingly. We've now got less than 20. If you're thinking about taking up knitting, or even if you knit, but actually what you'd quite like to do is do some of these really funky projects, this is a really great book. And you can see, so what Louise has told us, that these 4 people here, I was going to say ladies, got a chap in there, these 4 people here were beginner knitters. And this is which project is this lion's, the scarf? So that's 3rd or 4th, isn't it? And they've made their variations of it. And look, they all look lovely. And these were absolute beginners. So if you are, you can do this.
Yeah, or you can even buy it, you can knit it yourself, and then you can give it to a beginner, you know, once you've made a few of them.
Yes, exactly. Once you've learned everything, you can pass it on, which is also a good thing. So we've got less than 15. So you're going through, and the detailed pictures here, all of the instructions are so clear.
I know, I spent hours making all these videos for the book, like I spent months and months, and then I've read reviews that have said I didn't even need the videos because the pictures were so good. So I was really happy with it, but at the same time, maybe I did too good a job.
Oh no, I think some people will prefer to learn by video.
Yeah, I know.
So, but I think having the both is quite
you've
nice
got
actually.
both on there, yeah.
Oh, look at this one.
Yeah, we had
So
lots
really
of fun.
lovely. Now, we also have some kits back in stock. So we're going to look at some of these kits that we've got back in stock because these were so popular. We've got the kits back in stock. So I don't really need to get everything out of the kit. So what you have here, this is the black sheep head, mini sheep head. It's the black one. Have you? Louise has got it there.
I'm knock them all over. There you go.
And they do come with that hanging board, don't
they all come with
so
the backing board.
Hang it.
And I can demo how to do that in a bit if you
Yes.
like, so you can have a good idea on how to sew them on, but they're really easy. You just put them on the board and then they go on a little nail on the wall. They've got a little hole at the top and then they'll just sit flat on the wall.
So it's just fun, isn't it? So this completely sold out the first time it was on. We've bought it back especially for today. It's £24 for the full kit. We've got a message from Elizabeth. Let's look at your message, Elizabeth. I've made the mini ram's head and have now ordered the mini sheep's head to increase my flock. You have turned me into a shepherdess.
Oh, amazing.
Oh, thanks, Elizabeth. That is amazing.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, the mini sheep's lovely. So it uses bobble stitch on the head. So I've got the instructions in the pattern as well on how to make a bobble if you haven't made one before. The yarn is lovely. It's the Stone Washed XL by Shepshires, which we want to call sheepies, but it's not. I'm still not sure how to say it, but it's lovely. It's got like white flecks that run through the knit.
Lovely.
And it gives it a really, really lovely, I don't know, it's a lovely look. It's my new favourite yarn. So I'm using it for like all of my projects now.
Really lovely. So that is the black, that's the black sheep. So everything you need, including the needle to finish up with, the shield to hang it up with, the needles that you need to knit with, it's all in here. This is mini sheep head, this is the black. Back in stock by popular demand. So that's that one. Oh, no, I'm not going to do that. Kat just said, back in stock.
You've done it now.
I've done it, yeah. So now we have here, shall we, I'm going to do the other sheep head first. So again, this is the other sheep, but this is the white one. So the mini sheep head, this is the white. So again, it's got everything you need in the kit. So the white one is, that's it, we've already got it there, look. So that's the white one. That's really cute as well. Little pink ears, and again, it's got the bobble haircut.
Yeah, it's got the bubbles on it. I just love them. They've been so popular.
I love that one because I like the fact that the bobbles are clearer in the white.
Yeah.
You can see them more clearly.
I've just finished making a pink one actually at home. So
they are very tactile, aren't they?
Yeah, they're lovely. Everyone always says that about them, how tactile they are. So they're really, really sweet, whether it's like above your mantelpiece or in a kid's bedroom. I have them, have a whole wall of them in my office, but at home I only have the lion head really. And I had the moose for a bit at Christmas.
I like the moose as well. It's the best kind of moose. They were completely sold out when we first had them on, and we might go that way again today. So if you're interested, because they sold well on pre-order, so if you're interested in that one, the little white sheep's head, £24. So again, and it comes in this beautiful packaging. I just love that. And then we have the ram.
Oh yes, so the ram, this is a new colourway.
So this is the mini ram. So this is a new colourway of our ram.
I've forgotten about that. So this is a fawn with the brown horns.
This has got the round horns.
Yep.
And you can see actually, because that one's not on its backing board.
I'm going to show you how
that's interesting. So you can see how you've knitted it ready to go on the backing board and stuffed it.
Yeah.
So that's it. And you get all of that stuffing in the bag. So you're getting the stuffing, the board, the instructions, the safety eyes, the different yarns you need, the needles you need, all in the bag. You won't need anything else at all, apart from your reading glasses if you need them for your reading of the pattern. So that is the little ram head, and that's £20, that one. But we have quite a few more to go, so I'm going to try and rush through these a bit because we want to get onto some demos. Let's go for, this one is a new colourway you said. This is the unicorn.
Yeah.
So this is exclusive colourway for us. You can get the unicorn elsewhere, but you can't get it with this lovely lilac hairstyle.
Yeah, it's lovely. I've made so many over the years, but I've never made a lilac one, so I thought, I just love that colour. I think it's called lilac quartz because they've all got stone names. It's called Stone Washed XL, but it's just lovely. I had so much fun making it. And the cream's slightly different. It's got like a pink tinge to it, which I don't know if you can't really tell too much, but you can see it more in real life.
I can see it live, yes. It's got a pinky tinge to it,
pink, which is really nice for kind of a magical unicorn.
Are they magical?
Yeah.
No!
Yeah, I love unicorns. I have a tattoo of one as well. I'm really into unicorns, so that's I can show you. It's just there.
They're a really cute size, I think, those.
Yeah.
How long does it take you to make one? I mean, how long does it take you? How long would it take somebody else?
I can make one in maybe about an evening or two, like from maybe an evening start to finish. And I have had ladies, you know, go home from knitting shows, buy one, have some wine, and then send me a picture the next day. So, you know, the amount of time that you want to put. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Yeah.
So that's good. So you could do it in an evening if you wish.
If you really want to rush through it, but you know, like you could spend about a week or so. I knitted a sheep kind of on Instagram every week. And we did that over 4 evenings, like over 4 weeks. So kind of 4 nights, and I'd kind of made a sheep in that time. So,
yes.
Yeah.
So that's that one. So that's your unicorn. And that is an exclusive colour to us. We then have this one here, which is the moose head.
Yeah.
There's a moose in the hoose. That's the moose. Is the moose loose in the hoose?
Yeah.
I love the antlers.
Yeah, the antlers have some florist wire in, so that's all in the pattern as well, and that just keeps them like up straight really, because otherwise they'll droop down. So the florist wire just helps kind of keep them in shape. But he is lovely. This has been one of my best kind of selling kits.
It's really, because you know, you see these real moose heads sticking out of people's walls. So it's kind of like more traditional, but I just love the fact it's knitted and there's no poor animal died to be a decoration. Yeah. Do you know what my sons would do though? They would keep moving those ears, or those antlers.
Yeah.
I'd come in and every time I see they'd be bent a different way.
Yeah.
I love it. The yarn is gorgeous as well. It's got a fleck in it again,
yeah,
hasn't
that's
it?
all the stonewashed has that kind of fleck running through it. Then at Christmas time, I pop baubles over the antlers as well. Yeah,
hang baubles
yeah,
on
hang
them.
baubles. Bring them home. And I use them, and the same with the deer as well. They're very, very similar.
Let's look
with the
at where's
antlers.
the deer. Let's look at the deer.
Bring them up together. They're a really, really nice pair. So you can kind of.
Oh, I haven't got the deer. Oh, there he is. I found him. So that was the moose in the hoose, and this is the deer. So again, the deer's got everything in it. So it's got its antlers.
Yep.
And
It's got a little nose.
That, isn't he cute?
Yeah, at Christmas I've seen people add red noses to it. So the kits come with the black nose, but you could also buy some red yarn, and you could. I've seen people put Velcro, and then they Velcro over the red nose at Christmas time. So he can be an all-year moose, and then he can be
You
a
could
Christmas.
get one of the red noses from Red Nose Day.
Yeah,
couldn't
yeah,
you?
you could-
Just put
yeah.
it on there. Make a little cap.
Yeah.
So are these the same yarns, so they kind of match each other if you wanted to have one of each of these?
Yeah, they're all done in the same brand of yarn, which is the Stone Washed XL, apart from the Triceratopses, which we use the River Washed, which is just a sister yarn of it. So they're all by the same brand, and they're all the same structure. I think it's about 70% cotton, 30% acrylic. I'm not sure. Can't remember 100%.
Oh, you are,
but
you're right, apparently.
yeah, I'm right. There we go. I shouldn't have doubted myself. But it gives the knit this really, really nice structure. So I've always tended to work in just acrylic. But when I discovered this yarn, I just fell in love with it. So now I'm moving all of my kind of mini designs over to it.
I think the antlers give them character. I agree, Kat. Kat's saying the antlers give them character. I absolutely agree. And I like the fact you could have one at a jaunty angle. I mean, it's up to you, isn't it? Oh, yes, you've got Dancer and Prancer, Vixen and Dixon, and Comet, and I don't know the rest of them.
I call it Deerhead. I'm not good at names.
It's just Deerhead. Have we got any other names for Squeak? Oh, Senor Squeak. Oh, Senor Squeak. Very fancy name, yes. So we do have three more kits actually. I've got, oh no, that's the mouse, the Minnie Mouse. I've already done the Minnie Mouse. We also have the Triceratops. Now this one is the purple.
Yeah.
Now we've got less than 10 of this one left.
Oh wow, that's brilliant.
So that's good, isn't it? But that again, isn't it lovely? It's just so different.
Yeah, I had these were out of stock for a long time. They've come back after a couple of years. Well, actually, most of them have. So I've got lots of colourways now in the Triceratops, and I've got two here with you. And this is the lovely River Washed yarn, so it's like the Stone Washed, where it's got kind of flecks of colour running through it, and it's absolutely beautiful. I love knitting it. And I made one for my niece, and I had to give it away, and I was so sad that I made another one for myself. So yeah, I really, really love them.
It is gorgeous, isn't it? It's really fun, that one, and lots of children love dinosaurs, don't they?
Yeah.
So that's a really nice one, but it's not scary.
No, she's not scary.
So you can have that on the wall. She's not a scary dinosaur.
She's called Tracy.
Oh, she has got a name.
Yeah. This one does have a name. So Tracy the Triceratops, named after Tracy from Coronation Street.
Oh, right, okay. Did you name it or just?
No, I had a customer name it, but I picked it because I was watching Coronation Street at the time. So
yeah. That's good. No, I like the names. I like having a name for it. So that's that one, and we also have the Triceratops in the green. Yeah. Which again, so each of your, when you get your pack, what you will get is this beautiful pack with everything in it, and you've got a little label on it telling you what you've got in it. And this makes a fabulous gift.
Thank you.
For somebody else to knit as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have lots of gift buyers because they're so much fun to make, and you know, who wouldn't want to knit a Triceratops for their house?
Yes. It is so different. It's such a different idea. I've seen your big animal heads at the shows and things, but I think these are really lovely because these are achievable, as you say, in a relatively short space of time.
Yeah.
And if you go for your first time knit book as well, they're good for beginners as well.
Yeah, they're brilliant. They just use the kind of like 4 basic stitches, which are knit, purl, increase and decrease. Some of them have a few other things, like the sheep has the bobbles, and that might be it really. The Triceratops has like a picot edge along the top, but I've got photo instructions on how to do anything that's not your basics. There's always kind of a photo tutorial in the pattern to help you kind of get the hang of it.
It is. I mean, such simple stitches can create something like this. And the fact it's all 3D as well. You know, it's not just a jumper or a cardigan or a scarf or a shawl. It's something really fun. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. So these are our different kits. Now, you did say that you could do a demo for us. You were going to demo a couple of things.
Yeah, so
shall we see what you can show us?
Really mean first. I'm going to pull stuffing out the ram's head.
Oh!
I know. There we go. Sorry, Ram. And I haven't even woven in my ends. What's anyway, people know that I don't weave in my ends. I just hide.
You don't weave them. You just push them in.
I tell people to weave them in.
Oh.
As the
do
designer,
as I say, not as I do.
As the designer, I am quite cheeky, and I do. I weave a few in, but
we don't really need to if they're in there and then it's on a board.
Yeah, you're not going to see them.
No.
Sorry, Nan. But yeah, so once you've finished kind of knitting your head. What's really nice, I don't have the sample on me, but usually I show you kind of how the piece would look. So you actually have stitch markers on the piece, which are a guide for placing the eyes and the horns, and I think I showed those off a bit last time. So when you're knitting it, I ask you to add stitch markers as you knit them, and then when it comes to sewing up, everything's in place for you to just put the eyes and the horns and the ears on, and you don't have to worry about measuring or anything like that. They're really, really easy to put together. So I've done all the hard work for you as I've designed them.
So if you wanted to look back at that demo last time, it was on the 15th of March. So on the 15th of March, if you've gone to YouTube, you can see that demo then.
Yeah, but one thing, people always tell me that they're very, very nervous about stuffing their animal heads. And I think if you spend a lot of time knitting something, you should spend kind of similar time sewing it together and putting it in place. Because, you know, you want to finish it off nicely. People always tell me how they worry about stuffing it. So I thought I'd just go through just stuffing them to show you how to do it and how easy it is to make them. Yeah.
So we assume you've already stuffed the horns and the ears.
Yes, I have already stuffed the horns and the ears. So once you kind of stuff the horns and you sew them all on, and I tend to do that when it's flat, or you can sew them on once you've stuffed it, but that's up to you. But that's why I put the stitch markers on so you know where to sew them onto. But stuffing them's really easy, so I'd take my toy stuffing and I'd just kind of plump it up to make it nice and fluffy, because if it's in the kit it might have been compressed down or whatever in the post, so make it nice and fluffy. Best to do it before you hoover, because it's going to make a mess. That's fine. And then you're just taking the stuffing and you're going to stuff the head. What's important is to follow the shape of it. So where the thinner pieces are, like the snout, you're going to add a bit less, and you'll know if you've overstuffed it if you start seeing the stuffing come through the stitches. So here you can kind of see that I've overstuffed it slightly. You can see those stitches are coming, you know, looking wider, where if you can just bring a bit out. You can always reshape it later once you've sewn it to the board, but you're just using the stuffing and you're following the shape of that knit. So that's really important. You can kind of
a bit at a time as well.
I tend to do it a bit at a time, yeah, because you can always add more, or you can take it away. And you're kind of looking, if there are increased stitches on the piece, that's where you're looking to add more stuffing because the piece is getting wider.
And the amount of stuffing you've got in each of the kits is enough?
Yeah, it's plenty. If not, I'll give you too much.
Possibly too much. You don't have to use it all.
You don't have to use it all, you can use it all. Again, it's the kind of personality you want to give your animal, really. But yeah, you'll have plenty in there. So you're just stuffing it, bumping it up, putting it in. So at the end of, you can leave a bit, that's what I always say, kind of leave a bit, because you can always add a bit more once the board is on. But you can kind of see here how it's wider at the bottom where its kind of chin is, and thinner at the snout, a bit more at the kind of the crown of the head. And it just, you can see maybe if you're looking at it and it's looking a bit kind of not quite as cute as you want it to look, you can always press it down with your hands and reshape it once it's in there, and that will give it that lovely kind of finished look.
So cute.
Yeah. So that's the stuffing. And then once you've stuffed it, you can add the board, which I can show you as well now. So I have these boards specially made for me, so they're exclusive to me. You can only get them.
What are they made out of?
just ply.
Just plywood?
Yeah, just plywood, and that keeps the price of the kit down.
Yes.
So yeah, they're just, and you can paint them. So I've seen lots of people, they paint them, or they, you know, maybe you can varnish them. I don't know enough about ply to give advice on that, but I have seen some really nice ones painted. You could even make it, you know, glittery or
If you
whatever,
wished,
whatever
yes.
you like.
You don't see much of it anyway, so you
No.
can leave. I mean, I quite like the colour as it is,
Yeah,
to be
that
honest.
I do. And then what you do when you've knitted your kit, you'll have some of the yarn left over, and it's normally the main colour, or I'll tell you what colour to sew it up in, so you get your main colour and your contrast colour. To show you what I'm doing, I'm going to use this lovely green yarn, so you can see it. I wouldn't recommend sewing it on in green, but a lot of my kits have got, like, if you pull them apart, you can see the sewing up's done in a different colour, because it's easier to show you what to do.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm going to be using some bright green yarn to sew it up. And then I just need some scrap yarn from my stash, just any, maybe DK or chunky or Aran weight yarn, and we're just going to use that to get the board in place. With the board, it's got a right side and a wrong side, so the right side, it looks nicer really, it can be hard to tell, but the wrong side has laser marks on it, which is where the board has been laser cut. So they're laser cut boards, and you've got one side which looks really nice, and one side it's got a few laser marks.
Mm.
They look pretty similar. So you want to make sure that the wrong side, which is the side with the laser marks, is going to be facing towards you, not away from you, because otherwise the laser mark is going to be on that side, isn't it? So you want it facing up towards you.
And the instructions on how to do this are all in the pattern?
Yeah, they're all in the pattern, yeah, towards the back of it. But yeah, it's nice to see it, isn't it? And I should make a video, really. It's just finding the time.
Well, I don't know.
to
Can
do it.
somebody say that the book's fine? I'm sure
Yeah,
the patterns
yeah.
are fine too.
Yeah. So first of all, I'm just going to place some scrap markers at the kind of about 3, 6 and 9 o'clock on there. And that's just going to hold the board in place. Yeah, so I'm just tying it kind of to the edge of the head. I can leave a bit of a gap because, you know, it's not going to matter. It's just holding it in place. And then I'm going to add one at kind of the 12 o'clock.
So those little snips of yarn, 6 inches long? 8
Yeah,
inches
just
long?
kind
How
of
long
want
do
it,
you
yeah.
do them?
I'm not sure.
About 6 inches.
Yeah, 6 to 8 inches. You know, you can always do them a bit longer and trim them down. They're just scrap really that you need to sew it on together there. And all my kits, so they come with the little plastic sewing up needle, which are just children's needles, but I really like using them. And the back of my sofa, there's probably hundreds of them because I go through them like crazy.
Oh, but they're great because they've got a big eye, haven't they?
Yeah, that's what I like about them. You know, you can always use your own one if you have a favourite sewing up needle. So now I'm just threading my yarn, and maybe I've got about, was that 40, 50 centimetres, which is maybe, what's that, 24 odd inches off?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Trying to do it in all the different
Yeah.
types of
And then,
permutations.
yeah, I'm just going to tie a knot. So this would be your main colour yarn you're using. You want to use the same colour as the head. And I just tie a knot to start off with at the end of it. And I go through the top centre hole in the ring of holes, not the one up that. That's going to we hang it on the wall. And I just go through the top hole and then through the back of the head, bringing that knot with me. So it's kind of secured against the back of it, because we're not going to be able to weave it in later. So that's why I've added the knot. And then I'm going to bring the needle back with me, close to where I exited, but not through, because that will unravel it. I'm going to come back out through that centre hole, and that's just going to secure the yarn to the board, or to the head and the board to start off with. So I've gone through the top of the head with a knot, and I've come back and it's secured it there. Next, I'm going to go into the hole to the left. So I'm working anti-clockwise, and I'm going to go through that hole and out of like the cast off edge of the head. And this is the same instruction for all of the mini heads. They all use the same technique. And I'm just going to pull it. It may be slightly loose as you start going round, and that's absolutely fine because we're going to secure it later on. And like double secure it, but you can just pull it as you go. And then I'm going to go into the next hole on the left. So I'm running along the cast off edge and through the next hole on the backing board. And then once again, I can just get a bit of pull, and that secures it as I go. But don't worry if there's a small gap between them. And then I'm just going to go through the next hole to the left. I'm always going to the left and out of it. So it's quite simple actually. Once you've done a few,
You just
you're
get
going to be
into a
fine.
rhythm.
Yeah, that's I can just sit there and sew them up for hours. So There you go, so I'm going round. And when you get to that seam, don't worry about that too much, just go through it. No one's really going to know, are they? So I'm just going all the way around. And once I've gone past like a marker, I would just trim it off. You don't need it anymore because it's kind of held in place now. And then that's it. I'm just going around the board and, oh, there you go. Watch the edges of the board because, yeah, you get stuck on them.
A child could finish this off, couldn't it?
Yeah,
He.
I suppose so. Yeah, I think, say most of my kits are for plus 13, but maybe if you've got an adult supervising,
yeah,
it would be okay. There you go. So I'm just going all the way around, and once I get to that kind of the one at, is that 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock? Whatever time it is. Once I've got 3/4 of the way around the board, then I'm going to add a bit more stuffing. So if you feel like it needs,
okay.
yeah, that's why I've left a little bit out. So if you feel it does need a bit more stuffing, you can just pop it in, and you can always reshape it later, remember. So if it is a bit funny looking as you sew it up, remember you can always kind of push it around and it will fix it together. Once you've added that, you can just push it down so it's out of the way. You can just sew all the way around.
So you're going to through every hole, sort of up and down through each hole.
Yeah. And that's it. You're just going, every time you're going along the cast off edge and then along the back of the head board even. There you go. All the way to that top hole that you went through. And then at this point, you'll see that it has got a few gaps in it. And that, like I said, that's absolutely fine, because then at this point, you're going to start going back around the other way. And you're going to fill in those gaps. So this time you're going to go clockwise around the board, and you're going to go all the way around. So this time you're going to the right, going past that gap that we left earlier, along the back of the head, and then out through it again. I'm going to remove I don't need those anymore. And that's it really. They're really simple to do. With these ones, if you do find that you are getting gaps even when you've gone round, you can just go around one more time and it should be absolutely fine.
But it's a good idea to secure it, because they are so tactile. I'm sure people will squeeze or stroke.
Yeah,
You need them to be on there nice and permanently.
My kits that have come to, like my heads that have come to shows, like at the knitting shows, they're retired now because they're so fluffy from where people kind of give them a stroke. If you do run out of yarn, you can just add a new piece, like using that same method I did before with the knot. I don't think I can make it though.
Oh, just so close,
do you
but
reckon?
not quite.
Maybe you need about a bit more than what I quoted earlier. Let's say 60 centimetres of yarn.
Have you got any shows planned for this year?
Yeah, I'm hoping to do a few, but it obviously depends on restrictions. I might branch out, do some Christmas fairs if we can. I've got a few things in the works, but if not, I'm taking part in the online shows, which are really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, once you've finished it, you can just maybe to weave that. I'm not gonna. I know I've got that last. Do you think I can make it?
What, through that last hole?
That last hole is tight. This is nail biting stuff. Live on air.
Live on air. Can you do it?
Can I do it? I've just about done it. So I've made it. Wow, look at that. And then to weave it in, I would just push the yarn. We should have a longer tail than this. It's going to be really fiddly.
Well, it'll do. Show us what we need to see.
Yeah, just push it through the knit and then you can trim it down, even though I don't really have much to trim down because it doesn't exist. And there you go, I've sewn the head onto the backing board. And once you've done it, so you can see you've got these stitches around the ring of holes. Yours will be in the fawn colour or the colour, whatever head you're making. And then once you've done it, you can always give that, you can give it a bit of a reshape if you like. I'm always reshaping mine. I just see them on the wall, give them a little bit of a reshape to make sure they're looking great. And then all you have to do is hang them onto a nail on the wall using the little hole at the top of the board. And they'll just sit flat on a wall. Yeah.
They're really lovely. We've had a picture from Louise. Let's have a look. Oh, another Louise.
Another Louise, great name.
Look, so just something. Louise inspired me to try my knitting again. Here is my ram's head and cosy jumper from the first time knit. So easy to follow.
Wow,
That is amazing.
That's incredible. Wow, the jumper's a lot of work. So I'm impressed.
Is that jumper in the book?
Yeah, the final project is the jumper. So that is the big project at the end of the book.
No, the ram's head's not attached. It could be, but I'm guessing
you can
it's
wear it
not.
Wow.
Wear it's a huge brooch on your shoulder.
But they both look amazing. I mean, that is why, like, the thing I love about my job is I love knitting and I love designing. But what I really love is seeing other people's finished projects. And that's what I'm really passionate about. I never get bored of people sending me their pictures or giving me their kind of feedback and comments. It really means a lot. So I'm really happy.
I absolutely agree, because what it does is, even if they're doing the same project, it will be slightly different because they're doing it a slightly different way. Yeah. Or if you're doing different colours and things like that. I mean, when you're on the knitting the book, I mean, your same ideas might be shown in completely different colours. Yeah. And it's so rewarding, isn't it, when you see that?
Yeah, I've never made an animal head with the same personality as another one. So I love seeing how they have different personalities when they make them.
Oh no, they all do, definitely. Oh, we've had a message from Elizabeth. Oh, I didn't know this. So baby mice are called pups or pinkies. Maybe the mouse head could be called Pinky. I like Pinky. Yeah. Pinky Squeak.
Pinky Squeak, Pinky it's getting a whole full name now. Yeah, Pinky Squeak's quite nice.
So, so this is the mouse. So the mouse head one, we were looking at the kit there. So this is the mouse head kit, £22. This is exclusive to us for at least 2 weeks. You can't get it anywhere else, and you can make this little mouse. And it does include the fishing wire for the whiskers, the safety eyes, the yarn you're going to need, the backing board that you're going to have, the knitting needles, the hand sewing needle, and of course the full instructions. It is very cute. Pinky
Squeak.
Pinky Squeak, I think it is. Or Squeaky Pink.
Yeah.
Squeaky Pinky. That's really lovely. So, yeah, so what made you start making heads?
So I studied commercial photography at university, and I do take all my own pictures.
Yes, it says that in there, and they're beautiful pictures, really clear.
So yeah, when I was learning, I studied photography for years, and it was a big part of my life. And then I saw a friend that had a knitted headband, and she said, my mum made this, and I was so jealous. And she gave me a pair of knitting needles and a bit of wool, and I started trying it out myself. And then one Christmas, my sister was learning to knit as part of a textile course. Again, I was really jealous, and I started knitting and learning from her. And my mum and like my nan taught me along the way. And it just took over my life. And instead of staying up all night going to clubs, which I did also do, I'd also stay up all night and just knit. And I'd be knitting rows and rows at university. I started bringing that into my photography work. So I started knitting props and stuff for my work. And a friend of a friend had an old farmhouse. So I thought I'll do a hunting kind of, like a faux taxidermy hunting shoot. And I did, and I started knitting props for that. I did like a fox scarf that's quite well known. It looks like a fox stole. And then some of my work went viral online when I left uni, which was just crazy. I had lots of people contacting me. And instead of becoming a photographer, I decided to become a knitter because I've become so passionate about it. But that photography has always helped. It's been such a huge part of my, my professional kind of career, is having the skills to take my own pictures. So,
it really is. It's so helpful. Debbie Shaw's husband takes all her photos, which is fabulous because it means that you can take stages much more easily. Yeah. Others of us have to actually create the stages, so you're repeatedly creating bits in order to take the stages. But what's next for you? What have you planned? Is it going to be more heads? Or?
Yeah, always heads. Yeah, I love getting people's suggestions. So like I said, Lisa suggested a mouse. So if you have any ideas for any more heads, just let me know and I'll try and do some more. No? Yeah, ex-husband heads. Yeah, maybe.
No, I don't mean that.
I could do a dartboard for the back.
I really don't mean that. But no, that's really lovely. Oh yeah, you could have a donkey or a horse.
I have a donkey. A donkey in another book actually. So yeah, I have lots of different heads, and I'm kind of reworking my whole collection now to make them even easier to knit. So they're all getting the updated instructions with even more pictures. And now I'm writing a Learn to Knit book. I learned so much more about knitting than I ever thought. I thought I knew a lot.
And presenting it though, because as you say, it's when you know any subject, it's very easy to assume knowledge. Which I think that your idea of having 4 absolute beginners sort of to basically help you through this book, meant that things that you might just think, oh, I'll just increase here.
Yeah.
How do I do that?
I know.
So yeah, so you've got it. So this is really beautiful for absolute beginners. But I think it's also, although this is really good for absolute beginners, the other thing that's really great is the fact that it's also good for people who can knit already, purely because the projects are such good fun. So I think you've got Louise's trial and error, but also you've got 4 absolute beginners. I mean, look at these finished products, all these little heads here, all these lions. And I like the differences too. Paul's saying he likes it. So these are the different people that have done them.
Yeah.
And look how they've got on.
Yeah,
They're fabulous.
Yeah, I just said to them, which colours would you like? I had like, you know, I have a whole room full of wool like in my studio.
Surprised.
Yeah. Have you? Has anyone else? But yeah, I have 2 actually. I have one at home, one at the office. So I've taken over the top room at home with wool, and then I have my office full of wool. And I just say to them, what colours would you like to make? And they could pick anything kind of from what I have. And it was so exciting seeing the different projects.
Exactly, to see the different colours. So here you've got, so these are the finished products, these are the hats. Oh, and then a hot dog project. A little hot dog.
Yeah, and they if you look at the finished those, they made different size ones.
Oh my goodness.
So that's what I really like, is like my patterns having the option to kind of change the size of them. So like with the hot dog, you can make it small, you can make it big, it's the same knitting pattern.
Oh, that is so cute. And I love the mustard on the top. And then this is your jumper.
Yeah, that's my jumper. So I think I asked people, like, what's the thing you really wanted to learn to make when you first started knitting? And I had so many people say jumpers. So that's why I chose it as the last project in the book. So you're building up to that big project, because it is a lot of work and it is a lot of time. And you want to make sure you're going to do it right when it's a garment. Like when it's a head, you don't have to weave in those ends, but when it's a jumper, you do. You've got to.
But also, when you're making something like a jumper, it's not like you can try it on as you go.
Yeah.
So you have to know that your tension's going to be right. So you've done all that earlier on in the other projects, haven't you? You've got that right. And the nice, lovely, nice, easy instructions to follow. You take a beautiful photo, you know.
Oh, that's.
I mean, this is you personally
I set
as well
the lighting up, and I get my boyfriend to take them.
Oh, do you?
So yeah, I've got lots of pictures of him doing this on the sofa.
This is my best side.
Yeah.
So they're sweet, and then sewing up as well. And this is their I love this. Look at their variations with all the colours.
Yeah, Marla had finished knitting her jumper, I think, before I'd finished writing the pattern down. She was literally like, she was working off my like first notes of it. So she's absolutely amazing now, and it's so lovely that I've met someone that was an absolute beginner, and now she's side by side in the office with me, you know, helping to like work out what we're going to do next. So
yes,
very
I'm so
nice.
pleased to hear that. We have had a question from Sheila. It's going to cross the bottom. So it's for you, Louise. Can you read it out and then answer
I know what
it?
this question is. I wonder,
So, let's read that out so for those, because we can't read it. So Louise, have you ever thought about knitting a Springer Spaniel?
Yeah, I've thought about it a lot, Sheila, over the years. I knitted one a long time ago and I never turned it into a pattern. And I will do, I promise.
Okay, so there we are.
I promise you, Sheila.
She heard that first.
I'll get on it this year. This is the year, 2021.
I suppose, yes. What, have you got a cat and a dog?
I had like a Jack Russell a few years ago, but I don't have it available at the moment. So yeah, I think one of my favourite things is at the Horny Man Museum in like South London. Me and my boyfriend went on our first kind of real date there because he knows me so well, because it's just a room full of Victorian taxidermy. And they did have a whole wall of dog heads, which is a little bit dark and macabre, but they were Victorian dog heads, but maybe, yeah.
I think a knitted one is a
forward.
nicer option, actually.
Yeah.
Don't like the idea of, and I know they haven't suffered, because taxidermy is after they've died, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's not that they've been killed in order to stuff them, but even so, it's a little macabre, I feel, having your pet staring down. But a knitted version,
one, maybe that's all right. So yeah, maybe
perfect.
Springer Spaniel next then, yeah.
I think that's really fabulous. So how do you decide what animal is next?
I just asked Lisa and she tells me. No, I'm joking. Yeah, I don't know, it just depends. Sometimes like when Jurassic World came out, that's when like the dinosaurs, I was like, you know, everyone's going to be really into dinosaurs.
Yes.
So sometimes you do see what's going to be happening out there. But other times I don't know. I've been going for such a long time and I'd never done a sheep and I couldn't believe it. And I just sat down at Christmas and I started knitting and a sheep came out. So generally I like to take people's suggestions really.
Yes.
And then sometimes I just pick, I don't know, just start knitting and see what comes out.
Cat wants a giraffe.
I do have a giraffe, and a really old giraffe, but yeah, maybe I should. It is pink, so maybe it's not the most commercial thing I ever did. But
Paul wants a walrus.
I have got a walrus in the works.
Oh, there is one in the works,
I have
Paul?
knitted a walrus years ago. I get asked about it all the time, and I need to finish it because, again, that museum I talked about in South London, they have a huge walrus in the middle.
Yeah.
And they overstuffed it because when it came in Victorian times, they didn't know what walrus looked like. So that's why a stuffing tutorial is really good. So you don't overstuff your animal like the walrus in the Horny Man Museum.
We're not going to just go for all the animals you can think of. So have you got any in the works, little preview you can tell us about?
No, not really. I've started a Highland cow, which is kind of top secret. I think I did show it off a bit on Instagram.
You didn't hear that here.
Yeah, maybe some dog heads. I'm thinking about maybe Springer Spaniel. That'd be really nice. Yeah, I was thought about doing a set of dog heads.
I was going to say, the trouble with if you do a dog head, there'll always be another one that somebody will ask you to do, won't there? Because there's all these different breeds to do. Whereas you can get, I mean, like a bear. I'd like a
I have a bear. I have a polar bear. I'm kind of reworking all my old patterns at the moment. So I've had a few that have been out of stock for a while, like the Triceratops, and even kind of like the ram in certain colourways have been out of stock.
Yes.
So now I'm
I mean, we have got, in our kits today, we have got a white sheep and a black sheep, a ram, a unicorn with purple hair, first time and only for us, 2 ceratops, pretty pink and green, a moose, a deer, and of course our brand new mouse, our little mini mouse. So we've got all of those. So do have a look at those on the website and see which one. Price between sort of £20 and £24 depending on which one you go for. You can look on Louise's Instagram. What's your handle on Instagram?
It's Sincerely Louise across the board. So
Sincerely Louise.
Yeah, Sincerely Louise.
So that's all of your social medias.
There I am. Yeah, on all my social medias.
Yes, that's lovely.
There they are.
So do follow on Instagram, but do grab one of these fabulous kits from us here, and just remember that not only do you get everything that you need to make it, what you're getting is the whole lot presented in this superb pack, which, I mean, not only, I mean, this is sort of worth something in itself. This bag can be used again and again, as you say, for a project bag or whatever. Yeah. But it's a great gift.
Yeah,
I think this is fabulous for you to do, to make as a gift for somebody, but also this is a great gift to give somebody. When they receive that through the post, if they knit, that is.
Yeah, we get them the first time knits book. And
yeah, get the first time knits book as well. And the first time knits book, have we still got some of this left? Oh, okay, so we're less than 5. So just remember, if you want this book, this is an absolute great book for complete beginners, but it has such fun projects in it. Even if you're not a complete beginner, you'll enjoy it. But it's certainly, I think this is absolutely lovely. Because even though I can knit, I would say I'm a beginner knitter because I don't knit very often. So I would love this. Absolutely fabulous book. And I like the way even just doing a little sample bit of garter stitch, you've turned it into something useful. And in fact, you've got your 5 guinea pigs that have gone on the journey with you. That's so lovely. So it's a really lovely book, and it's only £12.99 with all of these projects. How many projects is it in the end?
There's 9 projects.
9 projects. So 9 beautiful projects, finishing with a jumper. We've had a message from Karen. Says, hi, I love these. I have made the mini sheep. The pattern and the kits are stunning. It would be great to have a Christmas reindeer.
Oh, yeah. So maybe next time I'm on, I can put a red nose.
Put a red nose on.
We'll add a red nose.
And some baubles.
Yeah, and some baubles, yeah.
I love that. And I love the fact you've put wire in them to make their antlers stand up or be shaped where you want
helpful,
them.
Yeah, so you can shape them. Yeah, they are lovely at Christmas.
I do like that idea. And I like the idea of actually having one sort of in the hall, you know, when people come to visit and you've just got this.
Yeah.
You know, just like, wow.
Yeah, my office, the first thing you see above my door, so you come up, it's in an old cutlery workshop in Sheffield, so of course it would be an old cutlery space, and it's a unicorn above the door, so you know which office I'm in. So yeah, you look up and there's a big unicorn head to greet you.
Which one is Louise? I think that's really fantastic. So if you are interested in any of these superb kits, here they all are, look at how cute they are. And they include the boards that you stitch to the back of them so that you can hang them nice and easily. They include everything that you need. We are very limited on the cream sheep, the mini sheep. So these are all mini heads, so the size that you're seeing here. And this is £24 for this little cream sheep. I love his little bobbly, or her, because it's got pink ears.
Oh, she's called Eunice. Actually.
That's Eunice.
Yeah,
Eunice the ewe.
She was named live on air last time, so she's Eunice.
Eunice the ewe. So she's got her lovely bobbly hair. I really like that. Next to her we have the unicorn. So that's the new hair colour for the unicorn.
Looks like a rock unicorn at the moment.
Yes. She's got a real mullet, hasn't she?
Bon Jovi.
It's a Bon Jovi look, that one. So that's the unicorn, which is also £24. Then we have the ram. This is in a new colourway. This is really cute. This is the one that you saw Louise stitching to the board. So this is £20 for this one. It's really lovely, and you saw how easy it was to shape the face. And you get everything you need in that kit. Then we have our exclusive, only available to us. This is the little Minnie Mouse. So this is Pinky Squeak, or Pinky Squeaky, or Squeaky Pinky. So you can name it whatever you like. But you get everything you need, including the fishing wire for the whiskers, the safety eyres, the needles, the hand sewing needle and the board, and of course the very full illustrated instructions. So that's really good. Then we have our Triceratops in green. So Triceratops in green. So this is really cute. This is a great one for the kids. Little detail on what would you call that bit that goes around?
I call it the frill, I think.
The frill.
Yeah.
The frill
yarn
around the little picot stitch. And you learn how to do all of that. It's all in the pattern. It's all very clear. And then we have our black sheep's head. So it's our ram. Is that ram? No, it's a black. It's just a black sheep. Yeah, black sheep. And that's in that sort of speckled black yarn. And again, he's got the bobbly haircut. So that's really cute with the eyes. And then we have is that the deer next one?
Yeah.
Or is that the moose? A deer.
Yeah, that's the deer.
That's the deer. That's the one that we might have a red nose at Christmas. So a really lovely kit, £28 for that one. Then we have the other Triceratops, which is the pink one. So you've got the pink one with the same sort of frill on the top. And then finally we have Mr. Moose. Is the moose in the hoose. So that's lovely, with his bendable ears because they have got wire in them. So that's such a fabulous kit and a really gorgeous book.
Thank you.
Thank you ever so much for coming and joining us with this. It's been a real pleasure and I just love all your little heads.
Thank you.
Do you know when you might be back?
Oh, when do you want me back?
Okay, so right, that is definitely the right answer.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got a drop shoulder jumper pattern. How easy is it to adapt to a raglan? That's a quick question. About 15 seconds, really quick. Look on the fan page and we'll have, somebody else will answer on that because we get nice useful answers. So thank you very much. Yarn Lane is back tomorrow with John and Anna, and you're going to be doing crocheted shawl and socks. Bye.